you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Effective Living, another incredible evening to have a great conversation. The last day in the month of June. Yep, you heard me correctly. It's the last day in the month of June. I'm excited about today because I'm talking with none other than Bradye Robinson, the one and only Bradye Robinson. What's up, Bradye?
Hey, hello, welcome back. Hey, y'all. Hey, guys, good to be back. And you brought me back on the right day, the last day of the month.
The last day of the month. I mean, you know what? It's not only the last day of the month, but we're mid-year. We are mid-year, and there is just something that has to change in the life of a person who's deciding, you know what? I am going to end this year strong. We came into the year with great anticipation, and we found ourselves thinking about the pandemic and all that happened in 2020. And the question is, am I going to navigate and get out of 2021 ahead? Am I going to put myself in the best position to ensure that the rest of the year ends up being the best of the year? Bradye, tell our viewing audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Bradye Robinson, a native of Dallas, Texas. I am founder of Robinson Empowerment Group, where I offer budget coaching services. So we are talking about that tonight, finances, money, things like that. I'm a motivational speaker, and I am a recently published author. I'm a mother of two, and I love serving in my community and in my church, and I'm excited about tonight's conversation.
Bradye, you published a book. We're going to talk more about this at the end, but before we dive into our talk, tell us a little bit about your book.
My book is Your Power Within. You Have What It Takes. Just reassuring and also letting people know that everything that you want to do, you already have everything you need inside of you to do it. You just have to execute those goals.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bradye Robinson is joining us this evening. We're talking today on a subject matter that is one that is overdue here on Effective Living. I'm looking forward to this talk, but before we do that, I want you to know that we have an event coming up as we walk and cross over into a new month, July. Effective Living is announcing and celebrating 2 years. 2 years strong. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's our anniversary month. July is our anniversary month. And so go ahead and let us know if you've been enjoying Effective Living. But with that said, we have a meetup. We have an activity that's coming, and we want you to know about it. Check this out.
Today, I have the distinct pleasure of being with Effective Living, doing exercises with Miss Sonia. Today, we had a fun day out here at River Legacy Park. The Effective Living community came together. Day with Effective Living today. We had a scavenger hunt, a nice walk around the park, as well as a great workout with Miss Sonia. We were dancing, we were doing burpees, but it was all in fun.
We have also had an opportunity to meet new people, and it has been a great day. You're not a part of the Effective Living community. We want to encourage you to do that because it is a place that we can continue to have fun.
Involved a lot of dance moves as well as just basic workout moves. So it brought everybody together for all ages, and I think it was a great, fantastic workout. So next time we have something, we want to see you there. The more, the merrier. And join us in this journey to create a life you don't need to take a vacation from.
Our next Effective Living event will be July 17th. Mark your calendar, Saturday, July 17th.
Now, if that's not fun, I don't know what is. I'm excited over here. I was like, oh,
Yes, it's listen, man. I'm excited about celebrating 2 years effective living, helping people to take control of their lives. If you've been watching or following our platform for some time now, you would know that we build this platform on 5 foundational principles: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. Let me say that again: faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. You got to decide. You know what? If I'm going to live life well, then I might as well live it with those 5 areas well taken care of. So some of you may need to write that down and hold on to it and look at yourself. So tonight we're talking about one of those areas. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about 2 of those, and that's going to be finance and that's going to be family. Yep, we're going to talk about family and friends and finance. So we're going to dive into this, and I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your opinion. So listen, guys, faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. That's what it's all about here in Effective Living. Our goal every day in every way is to keep getting better. Now, if you're continuing to get better, you would love this platform. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, share the link, tag someone right now who's been having money problems, and let them know, listen, the finance budget coach lady is on with us this evening. Bradye, let's talk about money for a minute. How important is money?
Let's talk about money.
Ooh,
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about money. Let's talk about the fact that what are some of the practical things before we dive into the heart of our subject matter. But we know that there are people who money is funny sometimes, and with all that's happening, not only here in the United States, but around the world when it came to all of the businesses shutting down and the massive adjustment people have had to make. What are some healthy money practices that at the end of the day, people need to start practicing? And I know you have some of those that you've been teaching your clients.
Yeah.
Give us 3 or 4 things before we dive into our subject matter.
Okay, guys, you guys that follow me or that have heard me on the Effective Living platform know I push budget. I push budget because it is not trending, it's not sexy, it's not for the time, it's clear cut cross, it is necessary, okay? It's needed, it's required budget. So that's something, if you were living on a budget, you go through the pandemic with a lot less bruises than some. But that's fine if you didn't, because the pandemic taught us to a lot of things. So I know that now we're looking at our finances differently. So one thing, he's like you said, a couple things, budget. You have to have a budget. You have to have a budget. It doesn't matter what program you follow. It doesn't matter what person, what financial influencer you follow, your favorite person. Everybody, the base of it is budget, okay? So you have to budget. You have to have an emergency savings. Okay. If nothing else, this pandemic taught us that, right? You have to have a nest egg. Put something back. You have to put something back. And my third quick tip would be, what's your plan? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? Are you living for today? Are you working towards something? Because having a plan for your money also gives you incentives and motivation to push towards your goal.
Come on, you got to push towards those goals. Your money need a mission. Come on, your money needs a mission. You got to have a plan for your money. Now, Bradye, tonight we're talking about lending money, more specifically to family and to friends. And I know there are a lot of people that's watching us, and they're going to be very interested in hearing what are some of the principles and strategies that you're going to share with our viewers. But when we think about lending family and friends money, why should we or why shouldn't we? Let's start there. The why. I mean, you know, you're a budgeter and you're a strategic planner when it comes to your money. should we plan to lend money? I mean, let's go into this talk on why. Why should you or why shouldn't you? And if you had to break that down, how would you break it down to explain it to our viewing audience?
Okay, here's the thing. Sometimes it's unavoidable. Sometimes it's unavoidable. So you can say, I don't lend money to family and friends, period, point blank. There are some people that are 100% solid and stand by that. But then there are times where that may be unavoidable, like a death in the family, someone's sick. If someone needs a few $100 to get their degree, their last class, I mean, so some things are unavoidable, but I don't recommend it become a habit or a practice. So the why you should or you should not. First, let's talk about reasons why you would do it. So some reasons why you may have to do it. Like if a family member is maybe facing eviction. For me, I'd rather help you out than you come move in with me. Because we're picking our own battles here. Remember, we're effectively living, so I'm protecting all areas of my life before I can help you. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a thing. There's maybe a repossession, especially, and we'll talk about this later. If you're the cosigner or if you're on that loan. So these are times when you should, or you may have to, or you feel more compelled to do it. Also, like freedom. And when I say freedom, pay that ticket to go to jail. Well, here's my thing. My mom was like, go to jail, learn your lesson. But but she didn't want me to lose my job because it's life after you learn that lesson. So just say my son, he's 9 now, just say he's 19. Okay, you need to set the time out. You got those tickets, but at the same time, he has a really good job, and do he lose his job to learn a lesson, or what do you do? So there are real life situations when you will have to do that. You're human. You have a heart. So if you just clear, cut and dry, hats off to you. But those are just a few times when you should or you would loan money to a family member or a friend. But also, when I say so we're talking about the should.
Yep.
When you do loan money, loan what you can afford to lose.
Wow. Say that again.
Loan what you can afford to lose. If you literally cannot drive down the street and throw it out the window, or hand it over to a homeless person, or take that $700 out of your wallet and put it in the offering plate on top of your tithes.
Okay.
If you cannot afford to lose it, don't give it. For me, some principles I have in my life in place, because we do have to, at being in the kingdom, you do help people out. So you have friends, and that's okay, but you have to have an amount that you're willing to do that. We'll get into that. So just a few reasons when you would or you should loan money to family and friends. So that I don't know. Coach, do you loan money to family?
I'm not a big fan of lending money. I'm more inclined to give.
I'd rather same here.
I prefer to give. I'm an advocate for giving, and I don't give to bucket with holes in it.
Yeah.
I don't give to desert ground like environment where the soil is not good soil. Okay. Sometimes people say, well, they don't need it. Why are you giving it to them? Because they're good ground.
Right.
And it's a crisis beyond, or there's a circumstances or situation where I just feel led or feel free to give. People have requested a loan, but oftentimes most of those people, Bradye, have burned the bridge of ever coming back because they didn't come back to pay the loan.
Oh, I have data on that. I have stats on that. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
So, sounds like we're on the same page as far as I don't want to loan family and friends money. I'd rather give it to you to salvage the relationship. So those were just a few of when I was saying moments that you would or you should. But do you want to get into why you should not?
Yes, go for it.
Let's get into why we should not, because I can tell you why you should not. I can help you make these. Okay, so let's see. One of the reasons why you should not, let me give you some stats and data. I love to give numbers and stats because numbers don't lie.
Yep.
And you can argue with the number. Don't argue with me. It's the data. Okay. So for number one, first things first, loans are rarely, okay. Studies show that loans are never a person's priority when dealing with a crisis. So if they loan you and something comes up, who's gonna get skipped over?
Yeah.
That is, studies show that loans are never a person's priority with family and friends.
Yeah.
It's never a priority. Maybe a small percentage. Okay, so that's fact right there. Family set guidelines, and see, that's the thing. Reasons why you should not, as family and friends, we rarely set guidelines or boundaries or requirements when handling this transaction, because this is a transaction on a personal, familial level, but it's still a transaction, right? And we rarely set guidelines. So let's talk about some guidelines. Let's talk about that. Guidelines mean that we have a timeline. I have a payback plan. Are you going to pay? And see, we don't ask the questions. That's the thing. Don't get bamboozled and get swooned by that emergency phone call. I need y'all to, because I've gotten caught up like that. And we do want to be there for our family and friends in the time of emergency. But that goes back to what we learned, making decisions out of emotions, right?
Yep. So what you're saying is to our viewing audience, don't let someone emergency become your crisis.
Don't let your crisis become my inconvenience. Because now I gotta, even if I put your button of cash app to sell you, I still have to do something to get it to you, hoping and wishing and trusting you're gonna pay me back.
Yeah. Wow.
See, and we get caught up in the crisis. That has nothing to do with us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I like that. So another reason why I felt that you should not loan money to family and friends is that we don't set a guideline or a standard for how much we're willing to give. Okay. So here's the thing. If you know that, because I mean, we all have people in our family. I've had to borrow before, but I know now where I am in my life. I have a dollar amount that I'm not willing to go over.
Right. Yeah.
Now, if we go over that, that's when we're going to take it a step further. We will sign something. We're going to talk about it, and I need a date. When do you plan to pay me back? How do you plan to pay me back? How are you going to pay me back if you don't have it right now? So I have some questions to ask, because it's my funds that you need at this time to help you out. So I just think loaning money to family and friends, it can get into a very bad area.
Let's talk about for a minute before you continue your points. Let's talk about this. You mentioned you have some questions to ask. What about those family members who don't want you to ask no question? No, I just ask you for the money. Don't ask me no question. I have no time for all of. Don't drill me, man. You're my sister. You're my cousin. You're my brother. You're my friend. Give me the money. Give me the money. What's going on there, Brady? You say if I can't ask the question, then what?
That's true, because that was one of my points in there. The loaner, us loaning money, you have the right to ask what that money is for, because just like you mentioned, you're not going to give it with a bucket with holes in it. I'm not going to fund your drug addiction. I'm not going to fund your alcohol addiction. I'm not going to fund your strip club money or whatever. I'm not going to fund your get rich quick scheme.
Not the strip club money. Not to make your ring money.
I cannot. So you have the right. And here's the thing. Do you notice that when you loan people money, the person that needs it start getting mad at you when you ask, what? Wait. I have one better. You asked me, and I said, you don't have to pay me back. No, I'm going to pay you back. You don't have to pay back. I'm going to pay you back. They come and go on her problem. Next thing you know, they stop answering my calls. Why you stop calling me? I told you didn't have to pay me back, but you didn't keep your word.
Wow.
All of that over some money.
Yeah.
It gets into a very, very ugly area there. And for one, we shouldn't loan money to family and friends, because definitely, like we're talking about now, it can ruin the relationship. Yeah. It can definitely hinder the relationship. You have to go into it knowing that you may get it back or you may not. But how are you going to act if you do not get it back?
Yep.
But what we find is the ones that loaning usually don't act a particular way. It's the person that owe us that change how they act.
Wow. What's your view on that? For someone, They borrowed the money from you, as you mentioned just now, and I've seen that happen before. Hey, you don't have to pay. Oh, I'm going to pay you back. I have to pay you back. But now, obviously, I sort of know you can't. I sort of know your issues are bigger than what you're declaring, and now you want to avoid me or not text me back or pay to not even acknowledge me anymore after. I mean, in your opinion, I mean, what's your view on that?
That I believe that it's embarrassment. I believe it's embarrassment. I think shame set in. Usually when people ask to borrow money, usually, you know, you have a little bit, it's a little reluctance because you hate to have to borrow money anyway. And now I didn't make good on my word. I haven't kept in touch with you, like I said. I don't have the money, or I have the money, and you know what? I really don't want to pay you back because I have other stuff to do. I don't have the extra money to pay you back. But that wasn't the term. It wasn't when you'll get the extra money to pay me back. You said you pay me back. And it's the person that, oh, I don't understand it. And people do it all the time. And then they get mad, oh, he mad about his little old $50. Well, it wasn't a little old $50 when you called me crying.
Yeah. It was my $50. It was gas money, and why are you on me?
I need it. Yes. And then people get the money. Because you come across it, but like you said, the studies show repayment of family and friend loans is last on your list.
Wow. Last on the list. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're joined with Bradye Robinson. We're talking tonight about lending family and friends money. I mean, what do you do? Do you lend family and friends money? What are your policies in regards to it? I have a rule. I've incorporated my rules. Over time, people have become to respect my rules. I'm going to talk about what I would do when it relates to how I get rid of money or sow money and so forth. But Bradye, let's dive into some more points because I know you brought information. What else do people need to hold on to in their pursuit to learn to live and manage well what God's blessed them with when it comes to their money?
Like you said, learning to live, be good stewards, being good stewards of your finances, allocating your funds appropriately. Always give off the top, right? Always give off the top. If you know that you have a soft heart, or not even a soft heart, but if you know that, you know what, I have an aunt or I have a niece that's doing kind of bad right now. She's struggling a little bit. She just separated from her husband. And you commit to helping her, you build that in your budget. Ladies and gentlemen, the point I want you to get tonight, do not loan more than you can afford to give. So even if that means writing that miscellaneous category into your budget or your giving category, add that into your giving, right? Because once it's out of your hand, there is no guarantee that you'll get it back. Now, we think we know people, we think on good faith, that's fine. And usually a lot of people do get their money back, but that's why I believe have a certain dollar amount that won't ruin the relationship, right? Because if I get into thousands of dollars, you know, I'm gonna feel some kind of way, but you know, I'm not gonna say nothing at a certain amount, but you won't be able to borrow from me again. Yes. So that's what we make a lot of mistakes too. We help the same. Think about it. It's the insanity. We help the same people over and over.
Let's talk about the co-signing. You know, someone calls you up, you know, they want to co-sign, they want you to co-sign. Because we know Bradye Robinson has set herself up to be doing well, and I'm going to ask her to co-sign for a car. I'm going to ask her to co-sign on a mortgage or on a loan, a short-term loan or something of that sort. Look at the bad and the ugly. What's your view or position on co-signing?
I don't agree. I wouldn't co-sign. I'm glad I wasn't raised to co-sign. I'm glad, and I understand now. I used to think that my mom was so mean. I mean, like I would have friends, their parents co-sign for them this, co-sign for that. But my mom, she explained why. It's a reason why that person cannot get it on their own. So does that one of a couple of things? Are you ready to have it? Is that what God wants you to have? You need to ask about that because we're going to talk about this too. People get caught up in God bless me with this car, but you can't pay the car note. I don't put that on him. You went in free will and got that car. Anybody can go get it, right? But I just do not believe he's going to bless you with debt, right? There's nothing in the Bible about that.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. I want you to finish your point on that. But you hey, what's it? The difference between being approved and qualified. I mean, could you break that down for us? Because some people say they approve me, but you
Yeah.
may not be qualified. Could you help some of our viewing audience to capture that? Because you may need to let your cousin Pookie know that even though they approve you, you're not qualified. And if you go ahead and get approved and get that car, but you're not qualified, you're going to come
Mm.
back to me, your brother. You're going to come back to me, your sister. You're going to come back to me, your best friend. And I'm telling you right now, not because you are approved, mean you're qualified. What's your view on that?
You're right. It is a difference between being approved and qualified.
Yeah.
So approved, yes. I mean, it's easy to get approved and we get excited off the approval, right? But qualified, or do you have the credentials and the requirements to get the item, to link with it, to make it yours, to have it? And we fall short there. Well, we can get approved and they talk so fast, but if you just had one more person or someone that has credit that's a little stronger than yours, it's yours today. And what people don't realize, when you co-sign for someone, it is equal responsibility, it's shared responsibility. And then you want to go through, well, I'll just take my name off of it. It is not easy to do. That is almost impossible. It's hard to do because guess what? To take your name off of the card, just say it's a card. To take your name off of the card that you co-sign for, that means that that person now can handle that loan all by themselves. So if they need the co-signer when they got it with you, can you see? So you're usually stuck with it. You're hoping, praying that they're going to make the payments on time and take care of the item, right? I say don't get into it. I remember growing up, my mom, she never, it was 5 of us. She never co-signed for anybody. And her thing was, y'all live raggedy. Y'all gonna mess up my name. So I have to keep my name right so I can help you. So she would rather help us with a down payment versus I'm not putting my name on it because y'all all over the place, pretty much is what she was saying. And I get that now because your name, at the end of the day, your name is your name, right? Be careful who you tie your name to. And it's all, guys, we're in 2021. It is hard to divide debt. Very hard. Ask some of these people that have went through a divorce. Ask people that have cohabitated before. It's hard to divide debt, guys. And I'm gonna let you go next. But Parent Plus loans on these colleges, that's co-signing. Don't do it.
Say that again.
These Parent Plus loans, because yes, we're in summer, right? We got people getting ready to go off to college, right? The Parent Plus loan sounds great. If you can avoid it, don't do it. I understand that we are not all in a position to go to school free and clear or just pay it out of pocket. But parents, let that child learn on their own. Don't put it in your name. Don't do it. I'm telling you, think back to how long it took you to pay off a student loan. I'm telling you guys, don't co-sign. Just don't co-sign.
Don't co-sign. Wow. Bradye Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, she is giving us some practical tips on ways you can take control of your money, okay? Money answers all things pertaining to life. And when you start to bring yourself to a level of structure and health when it comes to your finances, there are some people who haven't done the work to manage their resources, who will try to come in and present to you their needs. And if you're not careful, you can find yourself being in trouble. Bradye, in your opinion, when it comes to giving a loan, what is some other alternative to assisting somebody who may have a need, a family member, a friend that you may want to assist? But right now, the way that this person is doing business or the way they handle their money, you really don't respect. You don't like it, but you feel as though you can help them. What would be some of the other ways that you may suggest that they get a grip on their finances or the necessary money that they need?
Good, very good question. Definitely, I would offer other resources. Talk to the individual. See, first, you'll know, is this a habit? Or did this person really come up at a bad time? Because that happens. We all have a crunch time. We all have needed help at some point in time. And there's been a time where I couldn't go to a bank and get a loan, or I couldn't go and get anything. So I totally get it. But when you're dealing with a situation like that, how's their character? Are they known to know? I mean, I know that at the end of the day, we cannot tell 100%, yes, he is going to pay me back. Anybody can change. But overall, is this a trustworthy person? Offer some other resources. For me, my motto is make me your last resort. Make me your last resort. Try. Give me 2 other tries. Make me your last resort. Don't come to me first because you know I have it.
Yep. Yep.
Because that's now getting into taking advantage, right?
Yep.
Manipulation or entitlement, or I know taking people for granted. Give me 3 tries before you come to me. And if you really try, I tried. Here's my denial. They couldn't do it. I'll help anybody that's trying to help themselves.
Come on. Say it
You know,
again.
I'll help anybody that's trying to help them. You get more help when you're trying to help yourself, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, your family and friends, because I respect and love the relationships, it's not worth it to me to fall out behind money.
Yeah.
I'd rather gift you or bless you with this. Now, here's the thing. When someone tell you, no, you don't have to pay me back, I'm going to gift you or I'm going to bless you with it, let them do it. Don't block their blessing because they're giving you an out, right? I've seen so many times where people's like, you don't have to pay me back. God told me to do this. Or no, I'm going to pay you back. And guess what? They never pay it back. You had an out.
Yep.
You had an out. But it's that shame. It's that pride in that moment. Say, no, I'm going to pay you back. Yep. After I told you, you know what? Coach, this is a gift to you. Receive your gift. Let the pride down and don't see. It's the pride that won't allow you to enjoy the gift. Do you see how this is connected?
Yep.
And then you turn around and can't even pay them back when they told you. But you were so adamant to pay me back.
Yeah. Brady, there are people who are watching us. They have dealt with family members or friends who they can probably assist them by simply saying, you know, you're needing $50. You know, my yard does need to be lawned. You know, come on Saturday morning and cut my grass. I'll give you the $50. Or, you know, I'm moving this weekend. I was going to have to hire some movers. I'll give you $100. You said you need $100. Come and help me pack up these boxes and put it on the truck. Or I mean, there is these different tasks that could be done. What is your view on that? You know, some form of equal exchange. I'm not feeling the need to give you outright because I don't think your practices with money is that healthy enough for me to sow or give into you just outright. I don't think it's good ground. But what I know is you do have a need, and I can help you with getting the finances for that need if you're prepared to put in some labor, put in some work. What's your view on that? Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined with Bradye Robinson. If you believe in this particular approach in an equal exchange to some degree because you don't want to give it out right away or outright, but yet you can have them assist you with a service that they may have.
Totally. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Get into the whole barter. You do something for me, I do something for you. Quid pro quo is what we call it in corporate America. Absolutely. My garage needs to be cleaned out. Not that we're trying to find chores for you to do, but let me tell you how this works for both people. It makes the receiver not feel as, because we already know the word says the borrower is slave to the lender. Nobody likes to feel like a slave. Nobody, we're grown people. Can I borrow some money? You already feel less than having to ask. And we don't want to add insult to injury to people that need help, right? So it helps that person feel better about themselves. Also, it helps you feel better about yourself because you feel like at least I'm getting labor in exchange for something. Not only that, doing that will make the borrower think twice before they ask you again. See, the thing about it is we're too comfortable. We're too comfortable. I can come ask you because you always say yes. But I'm not going to ask Coach because if I ask Coach, he's going to want me to wash his car, clean out the garage. I just need $25. I don't want to do all that for that. Think about it. Quit being so easily accessible. You're not an ATM. You're not the bank. And if you do, we're going to talk about getting interest back on it. Why not?
Wow. Bradye Robinson, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about lending family or friends money. Bradye is sharing the real stuff right here. Her mama taught her well. And she said, listen, my mama said, listen, sometimes you just may need to go to jail so you can learn the lesson. Okay. You know what? You're going to sleep in your car for a couple of days because you ain't going to do this no more because you are going to learn the lesson. Brady, there are people who have skill set, but don't want to provide an equal form of exchange to get that money that they say they're going to get from you. You mentioned that just now, a written note. I mean, document the fact that you said you're going to give me my money back. This is a family member. They are feeling some kind of way. They're feeling like, I can't believe this is what you want me to sign and we're sisters? Right. Brother, you know how long we've been friends? Why have to sign? I mean, Brady, why do they have to sign?
Well, for one, the main reason for me would be we're trying to discourage the person from borrowing. So, like I was speaking of, I'm not going to make it very comfortable and easily for you to get. I'm just pretty much letting them know I'm serious about this. I work hard for my money. I do expect you to pay me back since you said that you would. Now we agree that you're going to pay me back. Let's talk about it. When are you going to pay me back? I'm going to pay you back on the 15th. Is it all of it, half of it? How are you going to do this? And I tell them, think about it, because if it's going to break you to pay it all back at once, more than likely, I'm not going to get it. Some people, I know I had an aunt that however she gave it to you, that's how she wanted it back. Like literally, if she gave you 3 20s, 4 5, she wanted it back like that. Guess what? We never asked her for nothing. Well, we never, and she expected it on the day, and she wrote it down. She wrote it down, okay? So they're writing it down. People don't want to go through that, but that'll also let you know who really need it or don't. And if you know what, man, I'm not going to do all that, that means that you have another resource. Use the other resource before you come to me. Make me your last resort. Now, writing it down, guys, let me tell you this. It will stand up in a court if you are texting back and forth as long as the message is clear. If it says, Coach Ricardo, I need to borrow $100 from you and I will pay you back on September 1st, that stands in court.
Wow. Let's talk about that, man. I like the fact of the money numbers are now starting to increase and you feel as though you can assist a family member or a friend. When do you decide, well, let's make this illegal? I'm prepared to go there with you, but I may need to go through the bank and I want the bank to interact with our transaction, or I want my lawyer to be involved. What's your view on getting professional involvement in the lending of the money to ensure that this is we're family and we're friends, but I'm wanting to make sure that this don't end bad. What's your view on that?
Make sure that all boundaries and guidelines are clear. Expectations are clear in the beginning before any money is exchanged. Okay, so that means that, okay, I have an attorney. We're talking about, just say you're trying to buy some land or some property.
Right.
Okay. For me, I want. Hey, if you want to, I want to have a part of it. I want some of it. So great. Ways, I want some of it.
So the cousin calls you up, Brady. The cousin calls you up. This is your favorite cousin. They said, listen, I'm getting this property, nickels on a dollar, you know? I mean, this is a deal you can't refuse, okay? I need to buy this land. I mean, they're giving me it at 10% of what the value of the property is. And so you're like, I have the money. You're wanting the money from me. Would you suggest, hey, you're saying you're going to pay me back in a year. I want you to put in the legal document that you're buying this property. That in the event that after a year, if you don't pay me back, this property now is mine. Is that a little bit too strong, or is that professionally clear and right, even though it's a family member or friend?
That is business ethics. That is. And I think especially when it's a family member, you do want to have it legally done. I know a lot of people start business with families, things like that. A lot of times it don't end well. But yes, and you want something in place to where you need some type of collateral. Because if not, you're going to take a whole wall. So yes, okay, you're going to open up a business, a restaurant. Until you pay me back, I am part owner. I am so much percent of this. And guess what? You can buy me out or you can pay me back. But until that, I'm going to be a part of this business. And that wasn't the plan. So you think about that before you start going around asking and borrowing money. Because here's the thing, even when you borrow from bank entities and things like that, they still own a part of your life because you owe them. And they can come back to haunt you with the credit and things of that nature. So guys, if you're going to borrow money, know that you're going to pay it back, and don't ask to borrow an amount of money that you know you cannot pay it back.
Wow. Bradye, let's talk about, go back, you did some of it at the beginning, but let's go back to some do's and don'ts, okay? Some do's and don'ts to lending family money. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us tonight, we're joined with Bradye Robinson. If you have some do's and don'ts, go ahead and put it in the comments section. As a matter of fact, do me a favor. If you're watching this on Facebook, do me a share it with someone so it can help someone. These are challenging times. And when people mess with your money, it can mess with your mind, and it can just cause you to lose your peace, or even sometimes your joy. So we want wisdom. And so, Bradye, do's and don'ts when it comes to lending family and friends money.
We do not want to lend over a certain amount that you are comfortable with tossing out the window. Hey guys, pay attention to who's asking to borrow the money, right? You want to pay attention to who's asking to borrow the money. You want to make sure, is this an all the time thing? Are they asking me to borrow money at the same time every year? That happens. Maybe Christmas time and it's a single parent of 3. She needs the help, but you have to decide ahead of time. What I'm saying is, some of the do's and don'ts, don't let them manipulate you or make you feel like you have to do it, right? That's your money, and you have to feel good about saying no. That's being a part of effective living community. If you are, you'll know how to say no comfortably without feeling bad. And some people have to learn that. But also remember, when you do loan people money, when you do loan your family and friends money, I want you to know that opens the door for more requests. Words spread fast. Even if they don't, they'll come back because they know that they've got it from you before, right? So now you become a calling card. You become a piece of insurance. So keep in mind that, okay, I don't want to start this with this person. Let it be known. I'm going to give you this money, or I'm going to loan you this one time, but I don't want to do this going forward because I don't want anything to happen to our relationship. So I say, don't loan money. Don't loan it. Just give it to them. If the relationship is worth it, right? You know who you're dealing with. Don't argue the fool.
Don't do it if you know who you're dealing with. Bradye, saying no. Some people have lost sleep because they don't want to give. They have reason not to give.
And that's low-key bullying. That's low-key bullying is what you're doing. And people know who to ask, right or wrong. You know who to ask. And you know that this person can't say no, or more likely, if I work on them, I'll keep pressing. People, you have to remember, they come to you in a crisis, but you still remember who it is. Because even though the wolf got his leg caught in a trap, soon as he get out the trap, he gonna bite you. He's still a wolf, right?
Wow. So learn to say no.
Learn to say no. Wow. Learn to say no, and just say I don't feel comfortable doing that. I had to learn to say no. Some people don't have it natural. I get that. I had to learn to say no. I say, and people, because I'm always joking and happy, and people think she's so nice, but I will laugh and tell you, I don't do that. I just don't. Well, I know you have it. I do. I don't get into that. I do.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. You don't have to lie.
But and here's the thing, because they know who to ask. They know what you have. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is you don't have to lie.
That's why I love talking about money, because it either put you on one side of the corner or the other. It will turn you from good to evil, right? The love of money, because you have to remember the motive. They know who to ask. Why are you asking a broke person for some money? You see? So, but they also know that you got a big heart. They're in the kingdom. She's a Christian and she helps everybody. But I just don't want to, I don't get into that. And I'll tell them, I can't do it.
So the person who tries to throw the Christian cards, or you're a Christian, you go to church every Sunday, and I know you have it. My God, you mean to tell me you're going to let me and my children sleep in the car? Bradye, you are so wrong. This is not Christ-like. You should give me what you know I need, because you know what? What's this, Bradye? They play this card. You know, if I had it, you could get it from me.
You know, if I know, or they'll throw up your past. I remember when you didn't have. I remember when they'll throw up your pass. They would throw up your pass. For how now that has happened to me for real. That has happened to me with a family member. They
Yeah.
love to throw up the pass. What I just say, I've already given what I'm gonna give this month. Everybody know that I'm structured with my finances, so
Yeah.
I do have a throwaway bucket.
Right,
You
right.
you just don't know what day I'm gonna throw it away.
Right. Come on now.
Because stuff
Yeah.
happen. People,
Yeah.
stuff happen. I mean, I might have a big home feel south and want to fill up the young lady's car, pay for her groceries behind me. I have a bucket of generosity that I add into my budget.
Yeah.
But once that bucket is gone, I'm not going to go my bills for you. Now, here's the thing: what I can do, I can help you with something with some of the resources. Say, like your air conditioner's out, something you need somewhere to stay. I get that. How long you gonna be there, or I can get you a hotel room.
Yeah.
We're not trying to leave people stuck out, but at the same time, you have to learn how to stand on your own 2 feet and make it happen.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, we're joined with Bradye Robinson. She is loaded. She's providing us practical tips on taking control of our money. In addition, guys, I want you to know about this platform. It's called the Online Training Authority. It's a platform where if you need a speaker, a trainer, if you need someone to come in and speak at your school, church, community organization, or conference, go to the Online Training Authority.com. Let them know that you heard on Effective Living that this is the place to get your speakers. If anybody who's into communicate, you need a coach. This is the platform to go to and find where coaches are hanging out. I'm a coach within this platform, and I'm here to recommend that if you're looking for someone to speak at your company's event, this is the place. Your school is looking for a speaker. The Online Training Authority is the place to go and check it out and let them know. Ricardo Miller from Effective Living told you to check it out. Now, Bradye is helping people today take control of what has occurred in so many people's lives, and that is being taken advantage of. And you got to live and learn. And some people don't learn, Bradye. And when it comes to managing your resources, you have disciplined yourself to bring yourself to a state where you're now able to handle your affairs when it comes to your money. There's someone watching you balance yourself and bring yourself to a place of stability. And now they want to ask. Bradye, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the person who they have borrowed from you. They've borrowed from other family members. When do you sit them down and teach them or bring to light the bad practices that they have been engaging in that make you not the best person to lend them money? Or should you just say no and leave it alone? I mean, family and friends need lessons too. And sometimes a no is necessary, but a no with a lesson is also critical for helping the person not to find themselves back in that same place. How important is it for you when it comes to helping family members say, hey, silver and gold, I have not, but wisdom, I have plenty. Let me share with you 3 things you can do to ensure that next year, this time, you're not in the same place. How important is it for you to not only say no, or do you ever have that need to go beyond the no and give a lesson?
First is knowing who you're dealing with, because and making sure is that person able to even receive the lesson. And we know who we're dealing with. Everybody has that one in the family that maybe, just not going to learn. So know what you're dealing with, right? You're not casting your pearls to swine. Know what you're dealing with. So at this point, that's when you know either I'm going to help them or I'm not. Okay. So, but if it's a person that you see, you know what, I see the potential there. I see, he got a tough break. He do, maybe he was on a bad track. He's turned his life around. He working 2 jobs. I got you. No, like they teach us when we speak, know your audience. Right? Know your client, know your customer, who wants something from you. Okay, because if they want something from you, you have the leverage. So that could be the trade-off. You know what? For me, we're gonna sit down and let's work your finances out. But then that's when people want to shut down and get embarrassed and close because they don't want to talk about their finances, or they know they're overspending. Or we have a young lady that's maybe she keep her hair and nails done, but she needs money for her light bill every month. We're gonna have to talk about that. Let's try a different plan. Maybe with a different company. Maybe you can skip a week for your hair and nails. It's ways around it, but you have to know that I'm not your option.
I'm not your option. Brady, you said something just now that a lot of people, they notice, but they're not prepared to highlight, and that is, I notice your shoes is always on fleek. I mean, like, you know what, your nails are on point, and
You
you know,
always traveling.
and
Yes.
you're always
Yes.
traveling. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're always in the fast food line, but yet, by at the end of the month, yet you're finding yourself really, what's going on? I mean, some people have a problem with that. If you're watching today, do you call them out on that, or you just leave that alone? You mention it. Do you ever say, "Hey, I noticed that. I mean, you're always on point with this. Can I give you some wisdom?" Talk about that a little bit more, because some people don't want to be called out or highlighted in relations to the area that they're not doing well.
That's true. And they don't want to be called out. Like you said, they don't want to do that. But that's when, because if you're giving, loaning someone, when you, like I said earlier, you have the right to ask what it's for. Now, if you notice this trend with the person, say it. Just say, hey, no, I'm not going to do that. And then if they ask you why, I see you don't have a problem with getting everything else done. I just feel like you may be mismanaging your finances. Do you need help with that? Maybe I've done this. I've just suggested to people, going out of your next couple of checks, put some money back for this, and they've really done it.
Yeah.
They just didn't think about it. Some people truly do not know how to budget. Some people just do not know how to save. They don't know how to do the bills. They were accustomed to, we just pay part of it. And so you do, like I said, you have to know your audience, know your client, know who you're working with. Because if there is an educational training opportunity, let them know, because it's better in them, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do here in Effective Living. You see a weakness, hey, there's someone that is striving where you're drowning.
Right. Yeah.
So let me help you turn this around.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do come to me, they'll run money, okay, this, I want to invest, I want to do this, what do you think? And the first thing I ask, I keep it simple. I keep it super simple, I call it super simple. It's very, are you budgeting? Do you have money saved up? It's so simple. We overthink it. We want to be so on top when it comes to money. Money is so simple. It's
Yeah.
so simple. It's a piece of paper that you control.
I like it. Brady, Devin said, my sister and I call that living their best broke life.
Yes, I'm balling on a budget.
Listen, guys. Hey, there are people who, once again, they live for a while, for a long time, but never learned the lesson while they've been living, and they're continuing to repeat the mistakes time in and time again. We brought in Bradye Robinson to help us to understand certain practices that one can look at in relations to making sure that the people that surround you, that they understand that you're going to engage in the best form of money practices to ensure that you don't lose friendship or find yourself having to disconnect yourself from family because they requested from you something that they could not have assisted, brought back to you. And now they're feeling some kind of way, and now you all are starting to feel some. So I like what Brady said. If you're going to assist from the angle that I can walk away from this.
Right.
That's so strong. I believe that. I'm a big believer in it, and I've never landed with the idea of wanting to get it back. But I know what you're talking about, Brady. When they said they're going to bring it back, and I said, okay. I said I'm prepared to sow it. But if you say you're going to bring it back, let's see. I mean, Brady, if 10 people have done that and said they're going to bring it back, I promise you, all 10 of them has not. It's that big of a number because I think you mentioned it a little bit. Is it some form of pride where a person feels as though I'm borrowing it from you and I'm going to give it back? I'm going to give it back. If the person is saying it's okay, take it as it's okay. Brady, talk about that a little bit more before we go into our final question.
Absolutely, yes, sir. So when you're going to, if you have to borrow from someone, excuse me, and they're saying, you know what, Brady, don't worry about paying me back. Just use it. This is your birthday gift, or you know what, let me bless you with this. Let that person do that. First of all, don't block their blessing. If it was laid on their heart, because here's the thing, they either know that you're going to struggle trying to pay it back, or they don't want to risk losing the relationship, bruising the relationship, or maybe Holy Spirit told them to do that. Here's the thing, whenever we are asking, when we're the asker, we're the slave. So if the lender is saying, don't worry about it, let's go with that. Because see, that's why I don't like to be on the other end of it, because I don't want you to be able to call the shots for me. So the lender can tell you how you want to do it, but then we want a little bit of pride when we just needed the money. Think about that. We need you, but then we want to buck up our pride. No, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back. She just gave you an out.
Yep. Take it.
Take it. You're struggling now, or you wouldn't be asking for the money, right? So take it. Don't. You're putting yourself further back in debt. That's free and clear. That's a blessing. Receive a blessing. So then when you do that, you receive a blessing and the giver receive a blessing. That's a double blessing. Don't interfere with what God is trying to do, but learn your lesson and don't always be the beggar. I know that sounds harsh, right?
Yep. Don't always be the beggar. Find a way to get yourself in a place where you're no longer the borrower.
Yes, right.
Okay?
Be the giver. Be able to be the giver. Be able to bless people. Because sometimes people really do need help, and we're not knocking anybody. Because I have been a beggar. I have been a person that needed help. I needed a hand out. I needed a hand up, not a hand out. I just need you to help me get up, and then I got it from there. So right, and that's okay.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. As you mentioned, someone is going to have a need. I have had a need. You've had a need. We all will find ourselves at some point having a need. The assessment of identifying the continuous need that you find yourself in, is clearly you're always with a need. There are some major differences there. You're clearly not getting the lesson that you need to get when it comes to money. You can say that to a family member. It's clear that you're not getting the lesson here. Last month you had a need. The first quarter of the year you've had a need. Christmas you've had a need. Thanksgiving you've had a need. And what's going on? What's going on? Brady, people are watching. We want to know practical tips for effective living when it comes to dealing with family and finances. We're closing out our talk. How do we navigate this from an effective living standpoint? Any extra thoughts you want to give us?
Yes, absolutely. This is a huge part of effective living, but how it navigates a part of our community here in effective living. It's another piece of the whole being of oneself. Okay. So if those of you that are joining in, if you do not know about effective living, sit tight, okay? Because it's a whole movement. But what it is, it's the whole self. You're taking care of every area of your life. Finances is always neglected. It's always left behind until we want to stack money. But here's the thing: if you pay attention to your finances along the way, the grind for the money won't be so hard because you've been watching. Keep your eye on the bag while you're still doing other stuff. And that's what we learn in effective living. Work on every area of your life. So you can't just work on your health and then you're blinded to everything else. Every day you need to check your bank account, right? Every day you need to check your investments. Who owe you money? Collect on it. Don't be scared to ask for your money. Hey, send a text, send something if somebody owe you, but then make a lesson. Don't notice, are they asking you this all the time? You have to look at that because when you give that one time, you just open the door for a second ask, right? You just open the door because when I get in the dire straight again, he helped me last time. I know last time, and then when they pay you back, they really come back. Remember, I paid you back last time. You know I'm good for it, right? So don't call. I'm good for. I pay back. I'm gonna pay my stuff back. That's mine because I pay back. My mom always say, "Pay them back. Pay me back because you don't know when you're gonna need me again." So but it's protecting yourself. The effective living portion of it, the financial part, it needs to be in alignment so you don't have to worry about that. So you can focus on all the other things that you are taking care of in your life and getting together.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined with Bradye Robinson, and we've been trying to help some people out when it comes to understanding this practical area. You want to take control of your life. You want to make sure your money is okay. And in dealing with your money, you have to learn how to just navigate certain practices in money management. And money management requires you to be sensitive of buckets with holes, bad soil, areas where you just simply got to say an outright no. As we close this talk out, Brady, no with niceness. with a touch of niceness.
Mhm.
Because there are some people I know they've gotten so taken advantage of that when they say no, they say it in an angry way that it almost really damages the person that having to hear the no. So you could push the relationship to where it becomes really damaging to both parties because you're responding from an angry place. I've become really focused and committed to learning how to decline and to say no and to not agree or feel like I'm obligated without feeling like I have to be angry about it. How important is that? I mean, knowing how to decline without having to get all up in your feelings, how to say no, how to tell that sister, girl, you know I love you, you're my favorite sister, but you know I ain't lending you no money, right?
Yeah, even if you have to do it like that, you have to learn how to set your own boundaries and learn how to say no. You can simply say, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But and here's the thing, but be prepared because people are always prepared for the yes. They never prepare for the no.
Wow.
They come, and my thing is, you ask me a question that has a yes or no answer. Prepare for both answers. They rarely prepare for both answers. So when you hit them with I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to do that, and you were nice with it, it's almost hard for them to get angry with you, but they still probably will.
Yeah.
You have to find a way you're comfortable saying no. I just I don't mix family and money. I don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, how much are you talking about? Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll bless you with that. Or I tell you what, you sell purses or whatever. I'll give you this for that. That way we both leave with something. Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to take a loss, right? You got what you needed from me. Okay, so I'm the one. So what collateral? It's okay to ask for collateral. It's okay to ask. What the point I want you guys to take away from tonight's message? We want to shut down the easiness of people coming asking us for money all the time.
Yeah.
If you challenge them a little more and ask the questions, they'll think twice before they ask you. Because see, for me, they know it's not an upfront yes. I'm gonna be one of those. Let me think about it. I don't know. Have you tried? I'll let you know. I mean, and then you can't string them along, but I'm not going to make it comfortable for you. I'm not going to cash app you. I'm not going to Zelle you. So now you're going to have to drive to me. See, I'm not easily accessible like that. I work hard for mine. So why should I give it up so easily?
Yeah. Brady, I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, someone called me a few months back and says, hey, man, I want to borrow something. I said, no problem. But here's the deal. Let me pray with you. Call me back tomorrow morning. I'll see what I can do. But can I pray with you? And I said, listen, Father, I'm praying right now that the windows are going to open, and you're going to provide the need before I even have the time or the need to respond back. And they never call back.
And I was saying people, they don't want to hear that, right? They don't want to hear that.
Wow.
So do you need it or not? And that's the thing. And I know when you become the borrower, you really are the slave because people can dangle what they want over you.
Wow.
That's why you put yourself in a situation. And if you're going to borrow money, do it with dignity and with a person that you can respect and honor the relationship, honor the commitment. If you say you're going to pay back, pay back. If I say I'm going to pay you back on the 15th and the 15th come, I don't have it. I need to call you. You don't have to call me.
Call me.
Hey, I told you I was going to call you on the 15th. I don't have it. My check is late. I really don't have it. Or be honest. I got paid today, but I had to pay my light bill.
Yeah.
Tell the truth. We already know what you're doing.
Tell us the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, Bradye Robinson. Brady, how can people follow you, stay connected with your services? You're a budget coach. You've been helping people to take control of their money. Someone may be watching who have a cousin, a nephew, a niece, a brother, or a sister, or a parent who's just been over pushing when it comes to borrowing and not been doing well financially. And they may need to contact you about getting control of their money. You are really good at what you do. Tell people how they can connect with you.
And thank you, sir. And I appreciate tonight's platform. You can reach me on all social media at Robinson Empowerment Group, or you can always go on Facebook, Instagram. You can hit me up on RobinsonEmpowermentGroup.com. Also at Gmail, on Facebook, Bradye Robinson. You can go on Amazon to get my book. I'm out there, guys. Just reach out. Also, you owe it to yourself to get a free consultation. Get your free consultation. We can go over a quick analysis to see where you are with your finances in the areas that you need improvement, or if there's a goal or item you're trying to reach or attain, I can help you with that. You owe it to yourself. It's free. A 30-minute phone call can unlock your financial future.
I love it. Bradye Robinson, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like this YouTube channel or share this on Facebook with a friend that you believe will enjoy this conversation. Join us again tomorrow evening, same time, another great conversation, July 1st. You want to start the month with us. It's all about effective living. Every day, in every way, I'm getting better. Declare that with me. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you again, Bradye.
Bye. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.